special day, ladies.
It is.
Today, we're turning Girl Chat over to you, our fans,
Love
because
it.
it's our Viewers' Choice show.
Hey!
That's right. You are responsible for what's going to happen this next hour.
Yeah.
You're picking all of our Girl Chat topics. We'll ask you to vote. We've asked you to vote on the Real's Instagram story, and we're about to reveal your results, so let's not waste any more time.
Okay.
We first asked if you wanted us to talk about Blac Chyna not allowing Rob Kardashian's alleged new girlfriend, Alexis Sky, to meet their daughter Dream, or the fact that Bad Baby made $500,000, that's a rapper, right? Made $500,000 her first day selling makeup.
Wow.
Let's see who you chose. It's Blac Chyna. 61% of you voted for her story, so here we go.
Okay.
Last week, we told you about how Rob Kardashian is allegedly dating Blac Chyna's rival, Alexis Sky, due to the fact that Alexis and Blac really don't like each other. Well, if that's the case, Blac Chyna said that Alexis won't even be meeting her and Rob's daughter, Dream. That baby is so cute,
So
okay?
cute. Great, beautiful baby.
That's because, according to TMZ, Blac Chyna and Rob have an agreement that no one significant other can meet their child until they've been dating 6 months, and she doesn't think Rob and Alexis will last that long. So, ladies, do you think Blac Chyna is being realistic or petty?
Well, I actually think the concept of this idea is pretty realistic, that you should have a conversation with whoever your significant other is that you share a child with as to what you're going to do going forward now that you're no longer together. So I actually think that that's really responsible. I think it's very realistic. I don't think it's petty at all in this sense. But I think sometimes overall, as women, we tend to devalue and not recognize that although we want to be like, that's my baby, that's my baby, that's my baby, you had a child with this other person, and technically, that's his baby too.
Right.
So I think we gotta recognize that when we're having babies with these men, you gotta consider that, God forbid, one day if you're not together, you hope that he would always put the best interest of your child before a relationship.
Well, I do want
So
to
make sure you're having kids with the right people, that you don't have to wonder.
That part.
That part. Let's start there. That you don't have to
if
wonder.
You say 6 months, I mean, why, Alexis could be petty and could, hold out maybe 7 months and be like, ha, now I get to see her. You know what I mean?
Oh my gosh. Decision mutually? So did Rob agree to the 6 months?
Oh, girl, I don't know.
Yes,
It just,
yes. Allegedly, yes,
Allegedly.
this was done.
We don't know.
Okay,
And
just
a lot of custody cases now are now doing the 6 month term of,
I can see that,
waiting.
because you just don't want anybody next to your child.
That's
it's a
true.
sense of protection. And then also, sometimes your child can get attached to the other person you're dating, and it may not last. And then, you're fine that you broke up, but then the child isn't.
That's
and then
right.
you've got to nurse them through that.
It's a breakup for them as well.
I actually thought it was really mature when I read this, because 6 months is a decent enough time to meet one another. And I think on the person who's on the outside, the third party that's dating, you should also set that for yourself too.
Yeah.
Don't make that kid fall in love with you if you plan to leave this person.
Yeah,
Because that's the whole relationship. And when a child's first learning about relationships and who the daddy or mommy is going to be bringing into the life, you want to just make sure that that's respectable. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but what
they may not
about if you
understand
guys
the
get
dynamic,
married
too.
before 6 months? Like, I technically, because I knew Israel for 3 years, it wasn't like we had to create a friendship, but then we had to see what the romantic side of it was, and that happened pretty quickly.
Yeah.
So that's where it gets weird. Like, some people meet each other and get married quickly after. You should be able to meet somebody once you're engaged, maybe?
Yeah, I have a question. When did you meet Israel's kids?
I had met them already before.
Because you guys were friends.
okay.
So it
So
doesn't
there
count.
wasn't like a weird
Yeah.
this is... Now, granted, we did do a meeting later on where it was like, oh, this is
The
her now
person
that
that
I'm
I
dating, which is
got
a
it.
completely different introduction. And you
Got
have
it.
to
Okay,
respect
do you
that.
just meet the kids, or do you also meet the mother of the kids?
I think you should meet all of it. If that person is willing to do it, I would prefer that you get to meet everybody.
Because she's going to
And
be involved
for sure, you're
in
gonna
the
be
kid's life.
co-parenting.
That's
You
so
know what?
mature, though.
That's mature,
the way you
'cause
want to do
Yeah.
it.
You have to.
I'm
and
dating, and
you should want that.
my boyfriend's, his kids are grown. I still ain't met them. I don't want to meet them.
No,
Don't say that, but it's new. No, you should say that. I hear you on that.
Children, kids.
For now, you're saying. For now.
Guys, they're in like their
Oh,
30s,
snap.
though. They're grown.
Wait,
Have you
Lonnie,
spoken
at
to
one
them at
point,
least?
will you meet them?
I've spoken, but
Okay.
you know,
Would you want to maybe
That's
sit
a
down
real
with a glass
feeling.
of wine with them?
That's a real feeling.
Brown
I
liquor.
appreciate that.
34, 30. Listen, one's 34.
Okay.
I'm sorry, James. One's 34, and I think one's 36. Yeah.
Why
they're like,
why
yeah.
don't you want to meet them? Are you protecting
You know,
yourself?
I've always been like, you know, because then I always feel like I don't never want to be looked upon as your stepmama. At 34, 36, I'm too young to be a stepmama.
I never saw it
They're
like
older
that.
than me.
Okay.
You're not my mom at all.
And they got kids, so I will be a step grandma.
Yeah, this is real.
Guys,
This
I'm
is so real.
Guys, I'm a step-grandmother.
Wait.
Oh my God.
I am, yes. I'm someone's step-grandmother. I can't make this stuff up. Israel's eldest son
Yes.
is in his mid-20s, his late 20s actually
Yeah.
now, Jordan, and he has a beautiful son named Carter, who is the cutest thing ever, and
Wow.
it's Israel's grandson.
So
You're
what
a
is-
hot
what is
grandma,
that in, What is
then.
that
You're
in
hot.
Spanish? What would we call you?
Nothing.
Grandma.
An abuela.
Adrian.
What is it?
Adrian. It's
Abuela.
my name.
Abuela.
Yes,
No,
abuela. I'm not abuelita. He has an awesome grandmother.
Wait, can you imagine if we had a new segment called Absolutely Abuela?
Absolutely abuelita over here. Isn't that crazy? But that is so
But I
crazy.
think it's cool that you're a young grandma. Because you're like,
No,
I am
we're
not
not
a
doing that. I'm
grandma.
not doing that,
step
Adrian.
grandma.
No.
You look,
Technically,
you're
you
hot.
are a step grandma. You are a
Step-grandma.
grandma.
Well, technically, you are a step
No,
grandmother.
I'm not married. See?
Damn it. All right, fine. I'm moving this right along to the next topic. Guys, we asked if you wanted us to talk about Chrissy Teigen not understanding modern dating, or if you wanted to talk about Jay-Z and Beyonce using their friends as decoys to hide from the paparazzi.
Ooh.
Let's see who you chose just in the nick of time. Chrissy Teigen.
We love
Wow,
Chrissy.
we love Chrissy, and it is Chrissy by 53% of you who voted for her. So Chrissy Teigen is known for her amazing Twitter clapback. She's hysterical. If you don't follow her, you need to. But this time around, she had an amazing Twitter question. Chrissy tweeted, "I haven't dated for a long time, but are you guys really pulling the let's be exclusive thing 6 months into dating? Like, what? I have been exclusive. What the blank have you been?" After
Yeah.
Chrissy's followers told her their dating horror stories, she tweeted, "Oh man, these stories. I don't know how you guys are out there dating now. God bless you on your journey." So ladies, do you think the exclusive conversation is something that still happens nowadays? And like, when should it happen?
Yeah, I haven't dated in a long time
I think there's
either,
a difference
so-
between dating and, you know, just having an intimate relationship. And, you know, I kind of mix the two, but I let my people know, I've said this before, if you hit this twice, we go together, all right?
Oh my
That's
God. Wait, so I have to ask the question, Lonnie.
It. Are you one more time,
Wait. Are you and James exclusive?
No.
No.
So
I just said we go together. I didn't say exclusive.
Oh.
Okay, when
Visuals,
does it
visuals.
become exclusive?
When he hits
When-
it twice. No, you
No.
said. Oh no, you said
When
go
he hits it
together.
10 times?
I'm just messing with you. We exclusive.
Oh, okay. Oh, that's sweet.
I love that.
Okay, that's sweet.
But he
Change
did
your
ask.
Facebook
Yeah,
status.
he did
Oh my
ask.
God. That's
Okay,
so
I wanna
sick.
It's already been changed. See?
Hold up, wait, start over. I missed
Oh
it.
my goodness, how did this
Wait,
become
it's
just
Lonnie
official.
hour?
What's already been changed?
Like her Facebook status, she can
Yeah.
actually change it now to in a relationship.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yes.
now you just said James asked you. How
Yes.
did that conversation go?
We were at dinner.
Okay.
It was Christmas Eve.
And how far in? How many dates in?
We have been, oh God, it was a lot. Because we met in August. So
August,
what's
September,
that?
October, November,
Go on
December.
and
4
count.
months.
Okay.
And so we were at Christmas Eve. Oh, we had just saw Quavo.
Okay.
Because we had Christmas Eve, we went down to Maestro's, and Quavo and Salty was
Yeah.
sitting at the table. And so
Not
I think he
steak.
was feeling all...
Saweetie.
Saweetie. Did I say Salty?
Yeah.
I
She
didn't
said
even
it
know
like S-A-W-T, not salty.
No, but let me tell you, she was
Salty.
looking
I
at
love
me and she was like,
Saweetie.
"Hey, girl," and I was
Yeah,
like,
she's
"Oh,
so
she
sweet.
knows me. Huh? She's a fan of the real, right?"
She's a fan
And then
of
when
the
I
real.
saw Quavo, he came in after her,
Yeah.
and I was like, "Oh my God, that's the Migos!" of course, you know, James didn't know who he was. Like, who? What is he? You know, because James. Well,
So you
anyway.
put him on.
Right. So I told him who he was, and so I went over there and I said, and then I saw it was her, and I was like, oh my God, you've been on the show and everything. So we had a great time with them, and I think that just brought up, like, we were already feeling good, but it's like it was just something about that joy, and it was Christmas Eve, and then we went to church. We went to midnight mass,
that's nice.
and then that's when he
Nice.
turned to me and he said, "Will you be my girl?" And I was like, "Oh yeah."
I love that.
How did that feel in that moment? No, you're getting emo, but and that's so not you. So I know that it's significant to you to have had that moment.
Yeah.
And I think he holds a really special place in your heart. And those are tears of joy. And that makes me, as your friend, so freaking happy for
Yeah,
you.
me
And you
too.
deserve that and everything that comes with it. Like, you deserve that. It's special.
Thank you.
Like, that's really special.
I think that it's important, getting off of me,
Okay.
it's important when you are with somebody to be very aware of what you are and what you are doing. And I know in these days and times, we always talk about, you know, a lot of us have sex before we have the talk. A lot of us date. A lot of us date multiply. But at some point, when you're seeing somebody, you have to have a conversation. And it's important to have a conversation because when you get people's feelings involved and there are other things, it's very important to have that conversation. So just be honest with them.
Yeah,
you know, I mean, but I was always
or bad, be
good
honest.
or bad.
I
Why
agree.
am I crying?
Because guess what, girl? You got your feelings involved. These is your feelings. And I think it's beautiful, man.
Oh, God.
I think it's absolutely
I can
beautiful.
just see OK Magazine now. Lonnie's crying. I'm
No,
like,
it's
okay.
beautiful. I think that shows that you have
tears of joy.
significant feelings.
I agree with you, though. At this point right now, as in dating, like, I'm so sensitive of making sure the other person knows that I'm openly dating. And I actually went out on a date with a guy that was so sweet, and he asked me to be exclusive 4 dates in.
Oh.
And I thought, wow, that's quick, right? But then I think about what Chrissy's saying, and what she's saying is old school. When you're dating somebody, you are interested in just that person. Yes, today's modern times, you openly date, which I think is healthy. I think you agree with me on that.
Right.
But there are some people where they're like, when they're dating that one person, they give this person all that attention and time until if it doesn't work out, then you go to someone else. And that's beautiful. And that's what this person wanted. He was more old school, and I was all about that. So because I'm being honest, I actually said, no, I don't want to officially be your girlfriend yet. But I really said it because, not because I'm more focused on openly dating other people, but because I wanted to see how he would be, even if we didn't have the title.
Right.
Do you know what I'm saying? Like, even if we don't have that title, are you, well then shoot, Free Willy and go out there and just, you know, hit everything up? Or are you like, no, because my eyes are on this prize and I really only want you, I'm gonna treat you like we're just official.
Right.
And really wait. The question is, do you now expect for him to continue to wait for you and attempt to win you over?
That's the first word I say throw out the window when it comes to relationships. Manage your expectations. Don't have expectations on other people, because then you're putting it on them rather than putting the actions on yourself. I only know what I expect me to do, and I expect to do right with other people. I'm not expecting him to be a certain way. Whatever he does, he's going to write his own story, and I'm writing mine.
Are you dating other people, though?
So honestly, because and it actually works. When you're so interested in somebody, you only have your interest in that person. So I'm not really looking at other people, although I take offers. Like I'm at Costco, I'm gonna go out and I'm gonna try that little pizza bite, I'm gonna try the hot dog, but I'm still gonna buy the full package of the enchiladas, you know what I mean? Like I'm in that mode. But I also wanna say another thing is, when I started making this list of like, Jeannie, when you become exclusive, what prerequisites need to happen?
Right.
And I know for me, there's 3 so far that I want. Number 1, I want you to kick it with my friends. Like, really know my friends. Like, come have dinner with my friends. Let my friends have a little alone time with you, because I want them to say something. Like, I would want that with you guys. I've told you that before. I would want you to meet them, or him, or her. And the second part, just go back. And the second part would be, I would say that I want you, we have to travel together. Let's get some time together away. I want to like take some days away, a trip of some sort. And the third thing, because I've noticed how different sex is nowadays than when I was dating 14 years ago, I want us to take an STD test so that when you are official, I know that you're completely clean and clear, and it's just us being partners.
Smart. I love that. I think that's smart. I've asked this before, but I'm not sure if you ever gave me an answer, but I'm curious now in the dating scene. would you do things differently this time than you did the last time in the sense of waiting until marriage? I'm just curious.
That's a big one. So I waited until marriage, not the whole time. I basically had sex like a normal, teenage girl, whatever, growing up and all that. And then I found Jesus when I was 24. That's an emotional story. But when I got saved, all of a sudden, like, God poured into me all this value and purpose inside of me that made me recognize what my body was and what intimacy was versus sex. And when I was filled with that, I recognized immediately that I didn't just want that. So I waited until marriage, and that was an amazing journey. Today, I'm a different adult now. I've had that experience, and I have a really cool relationship with God where He knows my heart, and He knows when the right time is, and I value myself, and I know the right time is. So that triangle of me, Him, and the Holy Spirit on top of what my choice is going to be, I let that take place when it takes place naturally. You know what I mean? Like, I'm going to decide that at that time, but now I have
You're
a
not
balance.
putting any...
Yeah, there's not a rule, yes or no. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. I was
As long as-
curious.
yeah, that's a good question.
Interesting.
Yeah.
All right. All right.
Interesting.
Yeah.
How's it going for you? What kind of guidelines
I'm
have
gonna
you
save
placed
you
on
here,
it?
Lonnie, because
Yeah,
you know
you know
what?
I
We
had
have to
me
take a
some.
break. But